Hi everyone! Hope you're having a good week. Maybe Sunday is the day of starting a new week for you, or maybe it's the end of your week, but I hope that you're having a good one. We have a lot of craziness going on in the world, and so I really wanted to talk to you about nourishment. This is something that I've been working on in my own life, and I've really found, what I need to properly nourish different parts of my being, the different aspects of my being. And so if you don't know what you need, first of all, taking, some time to really get to know what is nourishing for you. So some people, meditation might be nourishing for them, but other people, they need to go on a walk or exercise physically. And when we get to know what we need, then we can properly nourish. So what is nourishment? Nourishment is feeling like your cup is filled up. It is feeling good and stable and strong, and really being able to properly receive blessings. And so everyone's, way they receive is different. So most of all, when you figure out what you do need for nourishment, everyone's different, like I said. But what I've really found out in my own personal journey is that if you don't put yourself first, your cup is not going to be filled up. And when you don't put yourself first and your cup's not filled up and you're trying to give from an empty cup, you're going to be using your natural internal resources. And so we really want to make sure that our own cup is filled. So putting yourself first in the morning, what activities in the morning will help you feel filled up, will help fill up your cup? For me, that is instilling a really good morning routine. Because if I don't do my morning routine first, then I start giving myself to other people, to clients, or messages in my phone, or checking emails, or giving myself to my to-do list. And if I'm not nourishing myself first, taking time to do things that really fill me up, and I feel like I could just give without ever stopping, you really want to be able to give from a place of that space. So what does your morning routine look like? Do you need to go on a morning run? Do you need to spend 20 minutes in the shower singing? Everyone's, the way they do it is different, and so I don't really want to focus on specifically what your morning routine should look like, but honoring what you need first thing in the morning, honoring what your soul needs. Some people's so I love to do card pulls in the morning. I like to drink my cacao. I like to meditate. And if you don't put yourself first, then you're, like I said, you're going to be giving from your own internal resources. And when you do that, you start to get angry, and you start to get irritable, and you don't want to do the things that bring you joy or do the work that you need to do, because you're from a place of I have to instead of I want to. And so that's the difference if you're nourished and if you're not nourished. And this is really important to me in my own journey. And I just wanted to come on here and share that with you, because it's the key. It's the ultimate key to mental health. It's the ultimate key to being in a good space and not being in a good space. If you feel overwhelmed and angry, take a step back and look at, am I doing what I need, or am I giving too much of myself away? Where do I need to change? What do I need to change my schedule? Do I need to say yes to some things or no to some things? Maybe you need to say yes to that dance class that you really want to do, or that course that you really want to take. And maybe you need to say no to Maybe hanging out with some people that don't necessarily fill you up like they used to. Maybe they've grown in a different path, in a different way that doesn't necessarily align with who you want to be. So that can look different for everyone. But ultimately, when you don't fill yourself up properly, you may feel like you're nourished, but you're not truly nourished. Or you do have that spark in your eye. You know, are you feeling like, are you feeling sexy? Are you feeling like, you know, you just want to love on people? If you're not feeling that way, if you're not fully being able to dream or, you know, follow your heart, then you're not properly nourished. So I'm not really sure what the point of this video is. I just wanted to get on here and talk about how nourishment has really affected me. I've been doing some embodiment practices, and so that's breath work with sound and like moving the body. And that allows you to melt down those layers that, you know, and those walls that you build when you have to shrink to fit in, when you have to do things that don't align with yourself, when you have to hold in what you want to say because you're afraid, or when you do things that you feel like you have to, that you should do, and not really that you want to. And so we hold that in the body, and the only way we can get that out is, I mean, there's a couple ways to get it out, but something that's really been working for me is embodiment. And so what I'll do is I'll take some big breaths, like, you know, big belly breaths, like if you were to put your hands on your stomach, your hands would dramatically go up. So we don't want to do any shallow breathing here. The whole point is to really fill that those lungs up. And when we release, when we breathe out, we are breathing out things that is stuck inside. And we're breathing out with some sound, and we're breathing out with some intention of letting this out. So like for me and a lot of people, what this sounds like is, so you breathe in, and when you breathe out, you add some sound. And when you let out that sound, you let out that part that's been stuck inside. And so for me, that's been really nourishing. I've been able to find really who I am and connect with who I am, because I'm breaking down those walls that I've built to conform, to fit in. And I don't want to be that anymore. I want to be bold and brave and strong and courageous in who I am, and I don't want to be ashamed. And when I connect to that part of myself inside, I feel so nourished. I feel loved. I feel complete and filled up, because I'm connected with my rawness and my fullness without shame. And it's such a beautiful thing. And so, you know, find what works for you to feel nourished. I really love using essential oils if you have a hard time breaking down those walls. Energetically, they bring you to a different vibration. They clear out old vibrations, and they bring you into new vibrations. So they allow you to connect and to a different frequency of what you want. So that could look, like I said, this can look different in a lot of different ways, but ultimately figuring out what nourishes you. And if you're not coming from a place of, man, I just love living my life, then you are not properly nourished. So another way that you can nourish that just came to my mind is, how are you supporting yourself? Do you have support in place to help you when you feel like you can't handle things? So for me, support looks like massages. I love to get massages, and I have to get the massages every 4 weeks. Otherwise, I can't properly release energy out of my body like I should. Another thing that I'm doing for supporting my life is I have a meal plan delivery now. So all of our lunches and one dinner meal is delivered to us, and I don't have to think about it. And that's another way that I'm supporting myself. That helps me feel nourished. That allows me to give more time to spend the things that nourish me as well. So support and nourishment, they go hand in hand. And I'm also exercising. So those are a couple of things that I'm doing. But, you know, obviously they can look different ways for you. So that's all I've got for you guys. I hope you have a wonderful, wonderful Sunday. And if you need some help finding out ways that you can nourish yourself, or if you are interested in the embodiment work that I'm talking about, or just have questions about what I've talked about, then feel free to reach out to me. I would love to talk to you. So I hope you guys have a wonderful evening. I love you all. Namaste.